In the shadow of greatness lies despair, an Anfield legacy fading with each passing season. For decades, the roar of "You'll never walk alone" echoed with the weight of history, but by the mid-2010s, it sounded more like a plea than a promise. Liverpool, a name once whispered with reverence in football's grandest arenas, had become a team adrift, a powerhouse diminished, its glory days reduced to fading memories. Supporters watched, helpless, as silverware slipped further out of reach, the ghosts of Shankly and Paisley haunting the terraces, yearning for revival. Managers came and went, each promising the impossible: to restore the legacy, to reignite the fire, to bring Liverpool back to its rightful place at the summit of world football. But each attempt ended the same: heartbreak, disappointment, and the unyielding question: would Liverpool ever rise again? And then in October 2015, a man with a beaming smile, an infectious laugh, and a singular vision walked through the doors of Anfield. He was no ordinary manager. He was a force of nature. His name, Jurgen Klopp. This is the story of how a German tactician with charisma, as bold as his tactics, did the unthinkable. How he transformed a team drowning in mediocrity into champions of Europe, conquerors of England, and the pride of Merseyside once more. It is a tale of belief, heartbreak, resilience, and triumph. A journey etched forever in the annals of football history. There was a time when Liverpool Football Club ruled the footballing world. A time when European giants feared the electric charge of Anfield on a European night, and trophies flowed into Merseyside like the River Mersey itself. The club stood as a beacon of dominance, unity, and unmatched passion. But by the mid-2000s, that glory began to fade. The once mighty Reds, decorated with silverware and immortalized by legends, found themselves locked in a battle they couldn't win, not against their rivals, but against time, mismanagement, and the weight of their own history. The cracks appeared slowly at first, after the departure of Rafael Benitez, a manager who had delivered European glory in Istanbul, but could not sustain success. His exit marked the beginning of a turbulent era. A revolving door of managers followed, each with promises of revival, but none able to withstand the pressure. From Roy Hodgson's brief and uninspired tenure to Brendan Rodgers' near miss with Premier League glory in 2014, the club seemed cursed to fall short, always on the verge of success but never crossing the line. Fans grew restless, clinging to the highs of fleeting victories while enduring the lows of mediocrity. League finishes told the tale of inconsistency. 7th, 8th, 6th, a far cry from the title-winning days of the past. And as each season ended in frustration, Liverpool's trophy cabinet gathered dust, the last major addition being the 2012 League Cup. Perhaps most heartbreaking of all was the growing gulf between Liverpool and their fiercest rivals. Manchester United surged ahead under Sir Alex Ferguson, amassing title after title, while Liverpool's reputation as England's most decorated club began to slip. The weight of 18 league titles, the mark of their domestic dominance, became more burden than badge of honor as the years stretched into decades without a Premier League crown. The question loomed large. Was this once great club destined to remain trapped in its past? Could anyone reignite the flame that had made Liverpool a symbol of footballing excellence? The answer, though no one knew it then, was quietly making waves in Germany. A charismatic manager with a wild passion for the game was crafting a team at Borussia Dortmund that defied expectations. His name was Jurgen Klopp, and he was about to embark on the challenge of a lifetime. But first, Liverpool would have to hit rock bottom. It was October 8th, 2015, a day that would quietly mark the beginning of a seismic shift in English football. Liverpool fans, weary from years of false dawns, braced themselves for yet another new chapter. This time, the club had turned to a manager from the Bundesliga, a man with an untamed smile, an aura of defiance, and a reputation for building something extraordinary from almost nothing. Jurgen Klopp's arrival was anything but ordinary. When he stepped into the media room at Anfield for the first time, it wasn't just his words that captivated the room, it was his presence. With a grin that hinted at mischief and a gaze that spoke of unwavering determination, he declared his mission with startling clarity. We must change from doubters to believers. But who was this man who dared to take on the weight of a fallen giant? Klopp had made his name in Germany, transforming Borussia Dortmund into a powerhouse capable of standing toe-to-toe with the behemoth that was Bayern Munich. He brought with him a philosophy, a relentless, high-energy style of football that left opponents breathless. It wasn't just about winning, it was about how you won. Klopp's teams didn't merely play the game. They attacked it, suffocated it, and reshaped it in their image. For Liverpool, this was a breath of fresh air. Here was a manager who embraced the chaos, who thrived in the intensity of battle, and who seemed to understand what it meant to lead a club like Liverpool. Yet the road ahead was steep. Klopp inherited a team riddled with inconsistencies, players uncertain of their roles, a squad lacking depth, and a fan base skeptical of promises that had so often been broken. The early days were anything but smooth. His debut match ended in a goalless draw, a result that summed up the work that lay ahead. Injuries plagued the squad, leaving Klopp to rely on young, unproven players and tactical improvisation. Yet amidst the challenges, glimpses of his vision began to emerge. Liverpool's pressing game became sharper, their counterattacks more lethal. There was an energy to the team that hadn't been seen in years, a belief that they could outfight and outlast anyone. Klopp's sideline antics, fists pumping, screams echoing, and hugs that could crush bones became a spectacle in themselves, a reflection of his infectious passion and commitment. The results weren't immediate, but they were telling. A stunning 4-1 victory over Manchester City in November 2015 showed what Liverpool could become under Klopp's guidance. A team that thrived on intensity, defied expectations, and embraced the chaos of heavy metal football. This was no ordinary rebuild. Klopp wasn't just assembling a team. He was forging a new identity for Liverpool, one that would lay the foundation for an era of dominance. But for now, the work was just beginning. The doubters had yet to be silenced, and the believers were still finding their voice. The transformation of Liverpool Football Club was not immediate. Jurgen Klopp did not arrive with a magic wand, but with a vision so precise, it was both daring and daunting. This was a man who believed that the greatness of a football team lay not in fleeting brilliance but in relentless consistency, built brick by brick, piece by piece, on foundations of steel and fire. It began in the unlikeliest of ways. Klopp inherited a squad that many believed was beyond repair, a group of players who had glimpsed greatness but crumbled under pressure. But Klopp did not despair. Instead, he saw what others could not: potential. And to unlock it, he would need more than tactics. He would need the right warriors. The first pieces of the puzzle were unassuming. Sadio Mane, a lightning bolt in human form, arrived in the summer of 2016. Critics questioned the signing, a player from Southampton, lacking the star power of Liverpool's rivals' purchases. But Klopp saw more. He saw an attacker with blistering pace, tireless energy, and a hunger that mirrored his own. Mane's impact was immediate and devastating. Then came Mohamed Salah, whose arrival in 2017 raised eyebrows. A failed stint at Chelsea had left doubts lingering over his Premier League credentials. Yet under Klopp, Salah transformed into a phenomenon, a goal-scoring machine whose record-breaking first season sent shockwaves through the footballing world. Liverpool no longer attacked. They overwhelmed, suffocated, and annihilated. But even the most electrifying attack needs a fortress at its heart. In January 2018, Klopp made a statement of intent, shattering the world record fee for a defender to bring Virgil van Dijk to Anfield. Calm, composed, and commanding, Van Dijk became the linchpin of Klopp's defensive revolution. With him, Liverpool became unbreakable, a team that could strike with fury and defend with defiance. This wasn't just recruitment, it was artistry. Klopp wasn't building a team, he was constructing a symphony of talent, each player a vital note in a grand, orchestrated masterpiece. Training sessions became laboratories of invention, where pressing drills honed the players into relentless machines, and tactical adjustments transformed weaknesses into strengths. The results came slowly but surely. Liverpool began to climb, their style evolving into a spectacle of speed, precision, and unyielding determination. But with progress came heartbreak. In May 2018, Liverpool reached the Champions League final, a stage they had not seen in over a decade. The city was alive with hope, the players emboldened by belief. What followed in Kiev was a night etched in agony. A freakish injury to Salah, two catastrophic errors from goalkeeper Loris Karius, and a moment of brilliance from Gareth Bale shattered Liverpool's dreams. The 3-1 defeat to Real Madrid was more than just a loss. It was a cruel reminder of how far they still had to go. Yet in that heartbreak, Klopp saw opportunity. He refused to let the defeat define them. Instead, it became fuel, a spark to ignite an even greater fire. In his post-match interviews, Klopp's words were not of despair, but of defiance. "We will come back," he promised. And Liverpool, battered but unbroken, believed him. The foundation was now complete. The players, the style, the mentality, all were in place. What remained was to build upon it, to take the lessons of heartbreak and turn them into triumph. The doubters were beginning to falter, and the believers were growing louder. Liverpool was no longer a team in transition. It was a team on the brink of something extraordinary. The night of June 1st, 2019 in Madrid was no ordinary night. Under the floodlights of the Wanda Metropolitano, Liverpool stood on the precipice of redemption. Just a year earlier, they had tasted the bitterness of defeat in Kiev, a heartbreak so raw it could have shattered the resolve of lesser teams. But this was not a lesser team. This was a Liverpool side forged in the fires of Jurgen Klopp's relentless belief. As the Champions League final against Tottenham Hotspur began, the tension was palpable. The opening moments were electric, and within 2 minutes, destiny seemed to whisper in Liverpool's favor. A penalty awarded, a decision that sent shockwaves through the stadium. Mohamed Salah stepped forward, the weight of a city on his shoulders, and with an unyielding strike, he buried the ball into the net. Liverpool led, but the battle had only begun. For 90 minutes, Liverpool fought not just an opponent, but the ghosts of their past failures. And when Divock Origi's late goal rippled the net, the eruption was deafening. The final whistle blew and the players fell to their knees, overwhelmed by the enormity of what they had achieved. Liverpool were kings of Europe once more, lifting the iconic trophy for the 6th time in their history. But this was not the end. It was only the beginning. The triumph in Madrid unleashed a Liverpool side hungry for more. The 2019 to 2020 season became a campaign unlike any other, a march of dominance that would etch their names into the annals of football history. Klopp's men played with an intensity that defied belief, a relentless storm that swept aside even the strongest of rivals. Anfield became a fortress, a place where hope for visiting teams came to die. From the very first match, Liverpool made their intentions clear. Win after win, they built momentum, leaving no doubt that this was their time. Records fell with startling regularity. The fastest team to reach 30 wins in a Premier League season, a club record unbeaten run at home. By January, they had a lead so commanding that the rest of the league seemed to be playing for second place. But the journey was not without its challenges. As the COVID-19 pandemic brought the world to a standstill, football was suspended indefinitely. For 3 agonizing months, Liverpool waited, the specter of unfinished business haunting their dreams. Would their long-awaited title slip away, stolen not by an opponent, but by an act of fate? When the league finally resumed, Liverpool wasted no time. On June 25th, 2020, their 30-year wait ended. Watching from a distance as Chelsea defeated Manchester City, Liverpool were crowned champions of England. It was a triumph like no other, not on the pitch but celebrated across the city, from balconies and back gardens and in living rooms. The emotion was overwhelming. Tears flowed freely as players, fans, and Klopp himself celebrated the culmination of years of sacrifice, belief, and unwavering effort. Liverpool hadn't just won the league. They had done so with a swagger and dominance that made it one of the greatest campaigns in English football history. For Klopp, the moment was deeply personal. He had promised to restore Liverpool's greatness, and he had delivered. For the fans, it was a dream realized, an affirmation of what it meant to walk together through the storm and emerge into the light. In the space of 2 years, Liverpool had climbed to the very peak of football, conquering Europe and England with a style and spirit that captivated the world. They were no longer the team of what-ifs. They were the standard, the benchmark, the champions. And at the center of it all was Jurgen Klopp, the architect of a revolution that brought Liverpool back to where they belonged. Even the mightiest of champions are not immune to the forces of adversity. For Liverpool, the seasons that followed their unparalleled success were anything but smooth sailing. The echoes of triumph faded into the harsh reality of a game where no victory is guaranteed and no legacy goes unchallenged. The 2020 to 2021 season began with promise, but fate had other plans. In a cruel twist, Liverpool's foundation, its indomitable defense, was shattered. One by one, their key players fell to injury. Virgil van Dijk, the towering presence who had transformed their backline, sidelined by a devastating ACL tear. Joe Gomez and Joel Matip soon followed, leaving Liverpool scrambling to fill the void with inexperienced and makeshift options. It wasn't just the defense that crumbled. The entire team felt the weight of absence. What had been a fortress at Anfield became a place of uncertainty. For the first time in nearly 4 years, they lost at home, then lost again and again. A record-breaking, unbeaten run gave way to an unimaginable 6 consecutive defeats on their own soil. The air was heavy with doubt, the kind that could have broken lesser teams. But Jurgen Klopp would not let his squad falter. He knew that the strength of this Liverpool side wasn't just in their tactics or their talent. It was in their heart, their grit, and their unyielding bond. In the face of mounting pressure, Klopp became the rallying force, pulling his players together, instilling belief even when the odds seemed insurmountable. In the final stretch of the season, Liverpool's resilience shone through. A stunning run of form driven by the hunger and determination of players like Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and a resurgent Alisson Becker reignited their campaign. In one unforgettable moment, Alisson, the goalkeeper, rose above the chaos in the dying minutes of a critical match against West Brom to score a goal. A goal that was not just improbable, but miraculous, a testament to the spirit Klopp had instilled in his team. Against all odds, Liverpool clawed their way back into contention. On the final day of the season, they secured a top-4 finish, ensuring their place in the Champions League, a lifeline for a team that refused to let adversity define them. It was a season of struggle, of heartbreak, and of lessons learned. But for Liverpool, it was also a season that proved that their greatness was not just measured in trophies, but in their capacity to rise, time and again, from the depths of despair. Klopp's Liverpool had been tested like never before, and they emerged battle-hardened, ready to chase glory once more. As the final whistle blew on May 17, 2024, at Anfield, it marked the end of an era, a chapter in football history that will be recounted for generations. Jurgen Klopp, the charismatic architect of Liverpool's resurgence, had taken his final bow as manager, leaving behind a legacy that transcends the boundaries of sport. From the moment he arrived, Klopp's mission was clear. We have to change from doubters to believers. Under his guidance, Liverpool transformed from a club yearning for past glories into a relentless force, conquering Europe and England with a style and spirit that captivated the world. The trophies tell part of the story. Champions League triumphs, a long-awaited Premier League title, domestic cups. But the true essence of Klopp's impact lies deeper. He reignited the soul of Liverpool, fostering a unity between the team and its supporters that made Anfield a fortress once more. In January 2024, Klopp announced his decision to step down at the season's end, citing a need to recharge after years of intense commitment. He expressed his gratitude to the club and its fans, stating, "I wouldn't manage another team in England apart from Liverpool." His final match was a 2-0 victory against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Anfield. The occasion was marked by heartfelt tributes, with fans displaying banners reading, "Doubters, Believers, Conquerors." An on-pitch ceremony followed, where Klopp was presented with replicas of all the trophies he had won during his nearly 9 years at the club. In his farewell speech, he urged supporters to embrace the incoming manager, Arne Slot, with the same passion, leading the crowd in a chant to welcome his successor. As Klopp departed, he left behind a club transformed, a team instilled with belief, and a fan base united in pride. His legacy is not just in the silverware, but in the indomitable spirit he cultivated. A reminder that with belief, unity, and relentless passion, any obstacle can be overcome. In his own words, we have to change from doubters to believers now, a mantra that became a movement forever etched in the heart of Liverpool Football Club.